Hi guys, it's Maggie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the Jaclyn Cosmetics Holiday Collection Highlighter Review. She recently came out with her holiday collection featuring 3 different highlighters, and that's what I'm going to be reviewing today. Okay, so first is her Mood Light Luminous Powders, which retails for $32. This is the packaging right here. And inside is the powder itself. I got this in the shade Feeling It, which is the darkest shade. It comes with this little plastic thing you have to remove. Okay, so the second thing is the Accent Light Highlighter Palette. It retails for $49. There are 2 different palettes, which is the Flash and the Flare. I got the Flare because this one is for darker skin tones. And this is the palette. It looks super nice, super beautiful. This is the back. It says the Flare. So here are the shades right here. But the palette itself looks super nice, super luxurious. It is a little bit heavy. It feels sturdy, which is super nice. And the last thing in the collection is this guy right here. It is called the Beaming Light Loose Highlight. It retails for $24. And again, this is the packaging, and all of the boxes and the packaging, they all have their ingredients written on the boxes, so that's good. And this is it right here. I got this in the shade Amped. Okay, so what I showed you was the 3 things that I got. We're going to get started. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit, and please subscribe if you aren't already, and let's get started. So first off, I'm going to start off with the Mood Light Luminous Powder. Like I said, it is in the shade Feeling It. It is the darkest shade that I got. It is kind of like a bronzy shade. So this is it right here. You can't really see it because it kind of blends in with my skin, but you can see the glow. Okay, so she did say you can put this all over your face, but I am not going to do that because first, I am oily, especially in my T-zone. And second, I am trying this for the first time and I don't know how I'm going to like it, especially all over my face. So I am not going to do that. Okay, so on her Instagram, I did see her put it on her cheek area. So I'm going to try to put this on the apples of my cheeks first and maybe put it on this side of my face because I did not set this part of my face and see how it looks. Oh, before I start putting things on my face, I wanted to say that I did not buy her brushes because first, I don't think I would use them, and second, they were very, very expensive and I would not use that kind of money to actually buy those brushes, especially if I wasn't going to use them. And yeah, I wasn't going to buy it, so I am going to be using my own brushes. These are Luxie brushes. This is the 522 brush. I am going to get some of the powder, tap some off. Put that in the apples of my cheek. Okay, so this is exactly why I wouldn't put this on my T-zone because as you can see, it is very shiny. So I don't know how this would blur out imperfections, which is what it says on her website. It looks really, really nice, especially when I smile. You see, it gives me that little inner glow, which is what she was going for, and that's what she said, and that's what it's doing, and I like it, but I wouldn't put it all over my face. Okay, so I'm going to try the Flare palette. I think I'm going to swatch them all. I'm going to start out with the shade Glow Up. Glow Up looks like so on my skin. I'm going to try Made You Look. These feel really smooth, which I really, really like. This is Made You Look. Made You Look is more golden and Glowed Up is more, a little bit more cool tone. And then we have Exposure. I don't know if you can see it because it matches really closely to my skin. And then lastly is Turned On. I don't really know how to describe this shade. It is just this reddish shade. So this is Glow Up, Made You Look, Exposure, and Turned On. For my cheeks, I think I'm going to use the shade Glow Up. There's a little bit of a kickback. Oh, and by the way, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush in A23. Wow. This is actually just a little bit because I know everybody was saying that it is super pigmented and it's super beaming, and they were right. It is super nice. I'm just going to keep blending that. You see that? This is actually very beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so obviously I used the lightest shade in the palette, which is super icy, super nice, super glowy, and it's beaming off my face. And like I said, I only used a little bit, but if you are darker, you can easily use these two shades. Okay, so honestly, I don't know if this is a highlight shade because it's red. The only thing I would actually use this for is as a eyeshadow, nothing more. So I honestly don't get why this shade is in here. That's me personally. If you find use for it on your cheeks as a blush, good for you, but I don't think I would use this even as a blush. I think I'm going to use Made You Look. I'm going to use that on my brow bone. I think I'm going to use Exposure as an eyeshadow and see how it looks. Ooh, it is very pretty, very bronzy on the eye. I think I'm going to add some eyeshadow just in between so it can look good. Okay, for the Beaming Loose Highlighter, I am going to use the shade Amped. I'm going to put a little bit on the cap. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use a small brush like this. It looks a little bit rose gold. You can't really see it as much on my wrist, but it looks rose gold. I'm just going to dip in a little bit, tap the excess. Okay, so before I put this on, I have a little pimple right here, which is a little bit annoying, but okay. And this is like the smallest amount. It is definitely a beaming highlighter. A little bit definitely goes a long way, so be careful when you're using this. I knew it was going to be this pigmented, that's why I used a small amount, and this small amount gave me this. So these highlighters is really going to last you. I'm going to put a little bit of that rose gold shade on my lid, on the other lid, and see how it looks. Ooh. And I'm also going to put that as a brow bone highlight. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of my face and I'm going to come back for my final thoughts. Okay, so obviously the highlighters were super nice and super pretty. I'm going to start off with this, the Moonlight powder. Obviously I had put this on my cheek and it gave me that inner glow kind of look. And it's perfect in those days where I do want that, but I don't always want that, especially on my cheek, because like I said, I'm a little oily in my T-zone, so I would rarely actually reach for this. But apart from that, the formula itself was super nice and super smooth. For the Flare palette, I really love the colors, especially that shade Glow Up, which is on this cheek right here. I think it is my favorite in those days where I want to be super glam. I really love this shade. I actually love these two shades. The only shade I wouldn't use is this. Like I said before, I don't know why it's in here. But this shade would look also beautiful on my skin tone as a highlighter if I wanted something a little bit more subtle. This is more like glam days, Glow Up, but this is more everyday. I would definitely reach for this palette a lot more often than this. And then there's the beaming highlight, which is on this side. It is super smooth, very high pigment, very beaming. It doesn't look very beaming as this because this is obviously a different shade. The powder itself is very, very fine, which I really like. So it doesn't look very chunky on the cheek area. It looks very smooth. I need to stop saying smooth. But I love how this one looks. It looks very subtle, very everyday, but very glam as well. Okay, overall for the pros, the packaging looks super, super nice, super luxurious. And I really love a really nice, luxurious looking palette or packaging. And the formula itself is very nice and very smooth. I really can't complain about how they look on my cheek and on my eyes. Okay, so for the cons, these palettes are super, super expensive. Even the brushes, which I didn't get, like 2 of them were $20 and the other one is $24. These are very expensive for brushes. Her line is fairly new. She is a new brand owner, a new CEO. Her line is fairly new, and with what had happened before with her lipsticks, these shouldn't have been this expensive. I didn't really wanted to compare her line with other brands, but her prices are about the same, and those other lines didn't make as much mistakes as she did. And also these other lines has been around for a really long time, like Laura Mercier, NARS, Makeup Forever, and all these other brands, MAC. They've been around for a really long time, and Jaclyn Cosmetics hasn't. And with her whole scandal, and then she came out with these are nice, don't get me wrong, but they're very expensive. But honestly, I really do love this. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I really had a lot of fun actually trying these. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back on my next video. Bye.